Hello everyone, welcome to Living Off the Slab. I'm Craig Ripley, and if you've been watching my videos before, you have seen this tree in past videos, but I bet you haven't seen it like this. Yep, up here in New England we had a nice snowstorm last night. It's actually the day before the Super Bowl that I'm doing this video. So we had our pre-Super Bowl snowstorm, and obviously it was nice and wet and heavy, and it's all over the trees. It's actually gorgeous, but it is a pain to pick up, and there's lots of limbs and things down and people without power. And fortunately we didn't lose our power, but I know a lot of people who did, so please be thinking about them. So I decided that since it was a nice day after the snowstorm, I might come outside today and talk to you about my Klim Latitude Misano jacket and the pants that I ended up purchasing as well, because I've been getting several requests to do a follow-up on my review that I did last winter when I initially bought the jacket. So as most of you know, the Klim products are not inexpensive, right? This jacket retailed for about $630. Now I was able to pick it up on sale for about $480, but shortly after I was able to purchase the jacket, the prices shot up to back up to $630 or so. And this jacket now has been discontinued. There's a new model out there, just the Klim Latitude jacket, that incorporates some improved ventilation. It incorporates some lighter fabrics. It's supposed to be a little bit more forgiving in the sleeves and in the collar than this jacket is. And it runs that same price range, around $630. So this is not a small investment to go for a product like this. But I will say it's been worth every penny of it. As I get into this video, I'll tell you more about each of the different climates that I've been able to wear this jacket in and how I go about doing that. But I want you to know that it is worth every penny that I've spent on it so far. So now Klim calls their products technical shells. And that is, there's no insulated liner, there's no rain liner that you have to put on inside the jacket like so many of the systems out there. Right? What the technical shell is a Cordura outer layer that is fused with an inner Gore-Tex layer. And that makes it 100% rainproof, and it means that you don't have to carry around that rain liner with you. You can just keep riding right in the rainstorm. Now, the one thing that, however, you don't get is that insulated layer. You have to buy those in addition to your Klim outer layer. So again, that can get a little bit pricey. However, even though it's a little bit more expensive to go this way, I think there's a lot of benefits for it. Because I used to get really tired of getting up in the morning when I'm out on a tour and having to zip the insulated layer on, zip the wind layer on, then put it inside the jacket and go out and ride until mid-morning, and then it starts to get too hot. So then you got to stop and you got to zip out the insulated layer. And then you ride for a little while, and then around noontime it gets too hot again, so now you zip out the wind liner. And now you put all that stuff away, and now you ride for the rest of the day, and it starts all over again in the morning. You have to zip all that stuff back in, and it just gets to be kind of a pain in the butt. So I was looking, along with finding something that was rainproof, something that would be a little bit easier to manage. And I think this modular system that Klim has come up with actually serves the purpose a lot better than having those liners that you have to zip in and out all of the time. So let me give you an example of how this works. All right, here's the Klim jacket, the outer layer, that technical shell, and with the Gore-Tex lining on the inside. And then there is also a mesh layer in here to help give it a little bit more comfort. But that's just what the jacket is, right? The Gore-Tex and the Cordura on the outside. So inside I have a separate jacket. This is the Klim Inferno jacket. It's basically a lycra material. It's a little fluffed up on the inside so that it helps hold air and helps keep you warmer. But this would be my insulated base layer if I was riding on a day like today. I've worn this thing with a jacket down into the mid-30s with no problem. If it gets much colder than that, I will stick another layer, a fleece liner, on the outside of this jacket, like a vest or something like that, and that helps to keep me really warm. So if I take the Klim jacket off, you can see the Inferno jacket that I have on underneath it a little bit more easily. And what I do with this is, like, normally I would carry a sweatshirt or something like that along with me whenever I go on a tour, because if you stop and you're up in the mountains or something like that, it still can get a little chilly, and if you're walking out to dinner or something, you need something to help keep you warm. But with this, what I can do is use it as my evening jacket, and if I need to ride with it in the morning, if it's really cool, then I can use it for that as well. So it kind of has a dual purpose. It looks nice enough that you don't have to worry about looking silly or anything going out to dinner, and I said it's quite comfortable. I actually wear it all year long as a light jacket, you know, going back and forth to work. So the retail price on this Inferno jacket was about $100. You can probably find things that are less expensive that might do the same kind of job. But I tell you, this has been a really great jacket for me. I said I just love the thing. I wear it all the time, and I think it's well worth the money. All right, so now that I've got the jacket back on, let's talk about how it performed in various conditions that I've been able to ride in over the last year. As far as riding in the rain goes, let me tell you, it does what they say it does. It is 100% waterproof and really keeps you dry. In fact, I think this is probably the best rain gear that I have ever ridden in. Did some pretty good monsoons last year around Laconia, and we were just completely dry riding in this gear. It's absolutely fantastic, and it does exactly what they say it does. Now, we already talked a little bit about what it was like riding in the cold. Wearing that Inferno jacket and maybe another insulated layer, I'm able to use this down into the 30s or so, and I'm quite comfortable with it. I just make sure that I, keep some good gloves on and put a neck warmer on, and it works great. It's not, as good as, some of the other jackets that I have had in the cold weather. In and of itself, you have to use those under layers, but if you do that, then it works quite well. All right, so here's the big question for me, and I know for a lot of people out there: how did this jacket do in the heat? Right, because a lot of us, we don't like to wear jackets in the heat. We do want something that's mesh, maybe, so that the air flows through. Otherwise, we just get overheated and it's not comfortable. Well, I was concerned about that when I purchased this jacket, but so far I've been very pleased with it. I mean, it's a jacket, right? It's a Cordura jacket, so if you're not moving, you're just sitting at a stoplight, it's going to get hot. A leather jacket does that. Just about any jacket does that. Right? They are not made to be worn while you're not moving. You need that airflow going. So the key here to keeping cool when it's hot outside is airflow. So luckily in this jacket, there's a lot of great airflow. You have zippered vents on both sides of your arms, right here, right here. You have full pit vents that run all the way from here down to here. You can just open those up. And then what I've been doing as well, there's what Klim refers to as map pockets on both sides here. And if you open these up, these are actually lined with a mesh material that goes right into the inside. So these aren't waterproof pockets here, but that does allow more air to come in. So I'll open both of these vents up, let the air come into my chest, let it flow through these big pit vents. And also there's a great vent, an exit vent in the back there that you can open up, and you can really get the airflow going through. So far I've ridden this in temperatures, up around 100 degrees, and I'm fine, again, as long as the air is moving across me. If you're stopped at a light, again, it's going to get hot. But so far, I'm pleased. It works pretty well as long as you get that airflow going. So if you're going to spend the money on this jacket, here's a couple of things that you need to know. One, if you're going to get a jacket with this kind of heavy-duty Cordura in it, it's going to be stiff at first. When I first got it, the cuffs here around the sleeves, they were stiff. The collar was a bit stiff. As I wore it, as the jacket got broke in, all of that stuff loosens up and it's quite comfortable now. But at first, you're going to find it a little bit stiff, and you're going to probably be worried about it. I know I was. But again, just wear it for a while, 2 or 3 months, and the thing will break in and it'll be nice and loose and comfortable. Now, another thing just to know about is that this jacket comes with D30 armor, and that's a molecular foam armor, so it's made to be flexible. Right, and what happens is when you have an impact with this, the foam hardens up and it absorbs the shock. And supposedly this does better than the hard plastic armor. A couple of things you need to know about it though is that if you have cold weather like I have today, right, this is no longer very pliable. It kind of gets hard and it freezes up a little bit. When I first took this out, this is my back piece, it was really nice and flexible, and if I go in the house it will become flexible again. But out here in the cold it gets pretty hard and pretty inflexible. All right, now that hasn't happened to my shoulder pads yet, or my elbow pads here, because I have them on and I'm moving and they're picking up the heat of my body. But you pull this outside of the heat of your body and it's going to kind of freeze up on you here. Another thing I've noticed, and a friend of mine who has the same jacket, he noted this as well, that his back piece was cracking. And I hadn't noticed it until I took it out today to show you folks, but I am also getting some cracks in my back piece here. So I don't know, maybe that's because you know, I keep the jacket typically down in the garage and it gets hot and cold and hot and cold. I mean, that could be part of it. Or maybe there could just be some issue with the foam armor. So I'm going to look into that, and I'm going to see what kind of warranty they have on this armor. I think that if I have to replace it, if they don't have a good warranty over a year, then I'm probably going to have to spend the $40 to get a new back piece, which isn't that big a deal. But I am concerned that it's cracking on me a little bit. So again, that's just something to be aware of. But as you can see, I've now moved inside to sum up this video. Now, I did this because, one, I wanted to show you something that I used in my previous video on this Klim jacket, and that this is a rain suit that is compressed into a dry sack, and then this is a set of the insulated liner and the wind liner that comes with my standard jacket that I wear, my mesh jacket. And so this is what I have to carry along with me every time that I go on a tour if I want to use that kind of a jacket. So by going with the Klim stuff, I can eliminate this and fit in more fun things like camera equipment. So second thing is I decided to eliminate the Latitude pants from this review or this update because it's just getting to be a little bit long anyway, and I don't want to add that in. So I'll do that in a subsequent video. Pretty much the pants are the same kind of construction as the jacket, and they have the same kind of armor and so forth, and it's the pants version. So the last thing I wanted to do was to talk about this armor again, right? Remember I told you that it's supposed to be flexible like this, but it gets a little bit hard when you get out in the cold. Also told you I found that I'm getting some rips in the armor again, and I haven't done anything with it. I haven't gone down in an accident or anything. It's just developing these cracks in it. So I decided that I would do a little bit of research online and that I would submit a warranty claim to Klim and see how they responded. From what I've read, this is a pretty common occurrence with this D3O armor, and Klim has been warranting their products. They do have a 100% lifetime warranty on the product from defects in manufacturing. So I think that this should be covered. But I went ahead and submitted it anyway, and they should get back to me in a few days, and I'll let you guys know what their response is. But regardless of that, the overall jacket is just absolutely fantastic. I love the jacket. The armor, said we'll deal with as we have to. I hope that they have a long-term solution for it, because the jacket is absolutely fantastic and it does exactly what they say it does. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you out there on the road.